Okay, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the regularly scheduled Veneta Utilities Authority meeting for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 at 5:30, and the time is now 5:30, so we'll call this meeting to order. We'll start, as always, with the Pledge of Allegiance and salute to the Oklahoma flag. If we could ask our veteran, Mr. Skip Riley, to lead us, sir, we'd appreciate it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma, symbol of peace, unite all people.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Mrs. Knoll, roll call, please.
Wofford.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Swift.
Here.
Lucas.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Lair.
Here.
Briley.
Here.
Young.
Here.
So we have a quorum that takes us to item 3, recognition of visitors and public comments. I don't have any that were submitted. Item 4, consideration to approve consent agenda, consists only of one item. That is the minutes from the May 6th, 2025 VUA meeting. Entertain motions to approve the consent agenda at this time.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Swift, second by Tyler to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. The consent agenda is approved as listed. Item 5 is unnecessary as no items were removed from the consent agenda. Item 6, VUA Superintendent Report. Mr. Smith.
I don't have much to add except for got the splash pad open today and chemicals delivered to the pool, so I think we got things going our way.
All right, thank you. And then takes us to item 7, report on ongoing open records request. No action needed. This is something that I did want to go ahead and bring to this board's, just so you know what's going on. Open records request was provided to the city. It probably should have been to the Veneta Utilities Authority, but we're working with the law firm that's doing that. But you have in your packet that has been provided to you the request from March 31st. It was from a law firm out of Tulsa on behalf of Craig County Rural Water District number 2. I have attempted to schedule a meeting with one of the board members from Rural 2 to have a discussion. They canceled that meeting and nothing has been scheduled since. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but they are serious enough that they've decided to hire a law firm to send us this open records request that is quite difficult, frankly, and ask for a tremendous amount of records. They didn't ask for us to provide the records. They just asked for inspection office, as well as Mr. Prince and Mrs. Knoll, of course, being the clerk. I've spent a considerable amount of time putting together what we believe in our best efforts to be responsive to the request, and you guys can see it yourself. No discussion needed from it, but I wanted you to have it. I don't know, probably a couple thousand pages worth of documents would be, is that probably correct?
That's correct.
That were provided just for their inspection. So they came with their lawyer, looked at the records, and then of those requested copies of 1,147 pages of various records, in addition to the audit reports that are online and available. So Mrs. Knoll has, or is in the process of making those copies, and they paid tendered a check that is in there, $286.75, which is what we're allowed to charge by statute for making the copies. So records, so you can have your, be fully aware in case there's other action that needs to be taken by this board or the city council at a later time in response to anything that they may decide to do, if anything. Deal. We're just providing records, which we're happy to do, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of it and late. Unless there's any specific questions, then we'll move on to item number 8. Okay, item number 8, any new business? Hearing no new business, entertain motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn the VUA meeting.
Okay, motion and Mr. Walford second. So motion and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, so that meeting will be adjourned at 5:35. That takes us to the regularly scheduled Veneta City Council meeting for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, immediately following the VUA meeting at 5:30. Time is now 5:36, so we'll call this meeting to order. Mrs. Knoll, roll call.
Wofford.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Swift.
Here.
Lucas.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Lair.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Young.
Here.
And we have a quorum. Number 2, any public comment? Again, nothing submitted. And number 3, consent agenda. Several items on the consent agenda. Actions taken during the VUA meeting, minutes from the May 6th City Council meeting, and then several dates and streets that folks have requested for closure of the streets for the 11th Annual Veneta Route 66 Festival. Those items listed there under 3.3. And then, if necessary, any items removed, we'll discuss after this. But at this point in time, I'll take motions to approve the consent agenda or any requests to remove any items therefrom.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Wofford, second by Lair to approve the consent agenda as listed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Consent agenda is approved as listed. Item 4 is unnecessary as no items were removed from the consent agenda. Takes us to item 5. Discussion, consideration, possible action on property declared on April 15th, 2025 to constitute a public nuisance contrary to health, safety, and welfare of the public, justifying action by the city to abate the same, and hereafter set forth. Item 5.1 is property located at 337 South Gunter. Mr. Goforth.
337 South Gunner has trash and debris on the property. There's been very little, if any, cleanup. I propose we just move forward with it.
There's some other folks here. I don't know if anybody was here to speak on that, but ma'am, if you would like to, you're certainly welcome to step up to the podium and tell us who you are, so we know who we're speaking with and your relation to this particular piece of property at 337 South Gunner.
My name is October Garrison. I live at 341 South Gunter.
Okay.
My yard has been trenched, so his yard will drain into it. I find bricks and large branches when I try to mow that he doesn't want to deal with, so he just throws them over the fence. A couple years ago, one of his dead trees in the back came down across my fence in back. It shattered when it hit my garden spot. I found it in the morning early when I got home from work. He had already jumped the fence and cleaned it up, but my fence is a disaster. I have fencing, I have poles, I have no way to put it back up because he did away with the evidence and I can't even claim on his insurance. His dog jumps that part of the fence and does its business in my backyard. I don't have a dog. I have grandchildren who like to play in that yard, and I want it clean.
Okay.
His company comes up my driveway a good 15 to 20 foot to visit with him over the fence from my yard. His company will chase a chicken across my yard because it's a chicken. Well, if it's in my yard, it belongs to me, and I don't want them running through my yard anyway. And he had somebody who has now twice pulled up on the wrong side of the road and parked across my driveway and just sits there to visit with him on the wrong side of the road. Now, part of this is legal. Part of it, I've been told, is the code officer's deal. I don't know who needs to hear which part. But I put a no trespassing sign up. I filed a complaint with the police department. I put a no trespassing sign up. He tears it down. I put it up again. He turns it around backwards. And he still digs the trench along my fence so his yard will drain into mine.
Okay, so, I mean, fair to say you're here in support of wanting to clean it up.
Get
That's
rid
all-
of him
that's on the list.
completely.
Okay, I'm not sure we can do
within
that
a-
one, but
Wi-
we'll check
Within
with
a
council.
week, he'll have it trashed again.
All right, do we have any, Henry, that you would know if there's anybody here that's on behalf of the property owner that is needing to address the council, if so? But thank you, ma'am, I appreciate it. You don't have to.
My mother and brother owned the house directly across from this house 6.5 years. Nothing they have done, nothing but make it worse. My brother's trying to sell this house, has been trying to sell this house for a year. First thing they see when they come down that street is that house. That trailer he said that he's had loaded up in the last meeting, that trailer's been sitting back there a couple of years full of trash. The animals get into it, they string it about, it goes all over the neighborhood. I know Miss October, she works for my mother as well. So yeah, there's an interest here because it is horrible. And there are children living in this. My brother saw him literally drag the trash can out of his house yesterday. It is that bad.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Goforth.
I recommend we abate it, clean it up.
And this is one we've already declared to be a nuisance, correct? And already moved to abate it. Okay. So, I don't know that you need any actual action from this board, council.
I think we stayed abatement. So
Yours.
I think we stayed abatement. So I think the action, if I remember correctly, would be to go ahead and say, yeah, we're going to move forward with our abatement process. So we declared it a nuisance and we just stayed enforcement of it for however long it was.
That was my
30 days.
recollection. That's
Yeah.
typically what we always try to do, is to do it that way.
So you need a motion to abate it.
I would, yes.
To move forward with the abatement. As
Correct.
previously directed.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Briley, second by Young to move forward with the abatement that was previously ordered and then stayed after previously proposed. So, Mr. Goforth, please proceed forward with the abatement. Thank you. Item 6, update, discussion, consideration and possible action to approve hours of operation and prices for the Veneta Swimming Pool 2025 season. Mr. Prince, is that yours? You? Mrs. Knoll?
You will see that the hours of operations, for the most part, have stayed the same, with the addition of an adult swim from 4 to 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've had lots of requests over the years, and so we are hopefully, if you guys move that motion, then we will have an adult swim on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You will also notice that there are season passes. There's an additional option just after lots of visits with families and couples in town who are coming and they're just a family of 2. We noticed a need to have that as an option as well. So we have an individual season pass, a family of 2 season pass, and then a family of 3 or more. Again, those individuals on those season passes must all reside in the same household. And then our pool party prices, as you can also see on that schedule, most evenings are available for to reserve a pool party, and they book up fast. I have had probably 5 phone calls in the last 30 days already trying to book pool parties. So we are well on our way, and thank you to the water department and Justin and his team for doing an outstanding job of getting that pool up and running. Our pool party prices are, as you see, a little bit different from the previous years, and that is to cover payroll, essentially having lifeguards and safety on staff. Any questions?
I do have a question, Amber. As a grandma,
Yes.
like I have my grandchildren come visit me. They don't live with me, so would that still be considered like a family of 3, even though they're not in my household?
You know, that is something that I have not done in the past. We usually just do a daily rate at that time.
Oh, okay. All right. Just wanted to be sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, entertain any motions.
I'll make the motion that we go with as stated here in the records.
Okay, motion by Young and second by Tyler to approve the hours and prices as listed in the packet. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. That item is approved. Item 7, discussion, consideration, possible action to promote with recommendation from Street Commissioner James Tracy, Parks and Cemetery probationary employee Carlos Lugo to full-time employee effective May 26, 2025. Mr. Tracy.
Carlos is a good employee, shows up every day. He's always in a good mood and does what I ask him to, so I recommend we put him on.
All right, entertain motions, then discussion.
I'll second.
Motion by Briley, second by Lair. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That item will be approved. Department reports. We'll start with City Administrator, Mr. Prince.
I just want to give an update. FEMA has declared April 26th through May 6th that we were in the area, and so I've met with Craig County Emergency Management, and we have a lot of storm debris that's been down. So Street Commissioner Tracy and his crews has been gathering that debris. Homeowners were able to put it aside the road. They were able to come by. There were several trees that were actually in the roadways that were removed with that. We had to complete a new DEQ site application. The one that we had back in 18 has already expired. So working through that application. So we're looking to see if there is going to be some disaster relief fund. So we're putting all of our projects together, how much the expense might be. I met with FEMA last week, and we're looking to see if we're going to be able to get any disaster federal relief from that. Today we sent out letters along the 400 and 500 block of North Miller, informing them that they're going to be under construction for the roadway, for the sidewalk, curb, and water line relocations through there. So they've all been informed. We put out just a letter to every household there, and those were placed today. Also working on the PREP grant closeout, which is our $772,000 from the Department of Commerce, and we're about to wrap that up. We have the asphalt invoice that was sent to us, and then all that's left from that is just the seeding or the grass that they're going to put out there for that last bit of that. But of course, we also received 2 other grants, which is the REAP grant for water and for wastewater. So we're not going to seed until we get that land undisturbed from the water installation and wastewater installation also. So a lot going on out at the industrial park with that, but those are all coming to a closeout. So that's about my update. I would like to thank, along with Commissioner Tracy and his team for coming out during that storm damage, Justin's team jumping up for the swimming pool, the splash pad, and getting all that done. It was reported we had our solid waste trucks down last week. Both of those departments, the city came together, and we were able to get all that trash picked up last week. Whenever that was, who says it? When it rains, it pours. Both of our new trucks happened to be down, and of course we had to send those off to Tulsa to get those repaired. But they came together, and we were able to get that trash picked up. Some of it was delayed, but the homeowners and our customers were able to patiently wait on that and got that done. So I'd like to thank both of them for doing that.
Brian, just
Yes.
just since you mentioned parks, by any chance, do we have any portable benches that we could take down to Addicts Parks, for people to sit on? This is the springtime, and they have a lot of practice down there. And it's brought to my attention by some constituents that, they would like to, do we have any portable benches we can take down there for them to sit on?
Just placed throughout the park or in the pavilion?
Yeah, at the ball fields for them to sit on, to watch a ball game. Just, do we have any portables we can bring down there and have them sit on? It's mainly, they need them down there. They usually mainly use that field for practices, and a bunch of families and kids down there. And it was brought to my attention about some benches down there for them.
We'll look into it and see what we have available.
All right, thank you.
Number 9, any other department head reports? Brian, I'm going to put you back on the spot for a minute.
Yes.
You mind kind of giving us a little update from everything that's going on today? We had a busy day today, and I know I'll miss some of it. And I don't know if were you hopping up to come talk? If you are, please do. But I don't want to put you on the spot,
Misty.
because I'm gonna brag on Misty. So I don't know if she wants to stand up there and talk too or not, but I didn't want to put her on the spot. But I'm comfortable putting Brian on the spot. He gets paid by the word.
It was a great day, and you're right, Mayor Lee and Council. A lot of the praise of today's success goes to Misty and the economic development team that she leads. And that's what we do. We work together to get these things done. But behind the scenes for today, we were able to put together the Department of Commerce. We were able to invite the council, Grand Gateway, and we were able to also have some of our industrial owners and manufacturing companies out there actually host us to come tour their facilities. And it is an eye-opener whenever you get to tour those facilities to see what's actually happening right here in Veneta. So, Misty, thank you for putting that together, setting up those tours. I'd like to thank for lunch today. We got to have some local food here today. The thing about it is when you have the state come to you, and these are the ones that provide the funds for us for their grants. Sure, we do the paperwork. We put the plan together. But, we rely on making that plan good enough that the Department of Commerce sees what we are wanting to do. And they did on this prep grant. And $772,000, that's a lot of money. But when you're up there on Scissortail Drive is what it is now, ribbon cutting today, Scissortail Drive, right up in Industrial Park, you'll see what's available up there. 170 acres of new prime industrial land that's on the market for manufacturing, for distribution, for any kind of development that you want to put in front of us. So appreciate VITA and their team. That's a great authority that we have as a city of Veneta that does a lot of the legwork for us. And so I'd also like to thank VITA for that. But it all happens with the people that you put into place. And today, that's Misty Deffenbaugh. So, yeah. Well, isn't that right, Mayor Lee? Is that not right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a lot of other to that, of course. We've got James came out. He is our street commissioner. It is a new street, right? We've got Justin came out. We got new water lines. He's the one that was doing the tie-ins. So that's the city of Veneta and the Veneta Utilities Authority that came together for that. So,
yeah, it's a very good day, and Misty's one that doesn't like standing at that microphone much, I don't think. But she is quiet here, but she is definitely a force in the economic development world and somebody who's very well respected across the state and in Oklahoma City. So thank you very much for your continued work as always. Just a fantastic project. We are open for business, as I like to say, and 170 acres there ready to go. Water lines, sewer lines, roads. Wait for our first company to come in there. And we did have some people in town today that are prospective businesses. So that's exciting. And hopefully before too awful long, we'll have some announcements. But we have a lot of great partners that we work with, one of which is PSO that's sitting here in the room with us today, Mr. Gordon. They've been a fantastic supporter of ours in promoting the city, as I'm sure they do for a lot of their cities, but they have not forgot us, that's for sure. And Commerce has been a fantastic partner. And I think those are relationships that Misty's built and Brian has worked on, and I've certainly worked on, and Mrs. Knoll in her time here has worked on as well. And a good group. So I appreciate everybody's support and hard work because it's paying off for sure. So ribbon cutting, like Brian said, on the new road. So it's 2 new roads, 2 new ribbon cuttings in 2 years, I guess, here, or about a year's time. Deffenbaugh Drive, and at the end of that, it turns into Scissortail Drive, which is fitting, being the state bird and money supplied by the state of Oklahoma Department of Commerce. So it was good to see those folks in town today. If there's anything we're leaving out, please do so, but I know you would not come up and brag on yourself, so you have to allow us to do so. But anyways, thank you very much, Misty. And Brian, thank you. Any other department heads with any reports? All right, any new business? All right, that'll take us to executive session at this time. The council can consider to move into executive session to discuss the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salaried public officer or employee pursuant to 25 OS 307B1. Be discussing City Administrator Brian Prince and his 90-day evaluation into his new job. So entertain motions at this time to enter into executive session.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and second to enter into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, time is 5:55. Well, this time we'll enter into executive session. Thank you all. Excited.